Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be starting yet another reading vlog, but this one is exciting because obviously I'm home in my room with my lovely bookshelves. I miss them honestly, but I'm back for Thanksgiving break, so I have like 9-ish days to do nothing essentially and read some good books, so I'm so excited to be vlogging it. Originally I was like really excited because I was like, oh yeah, finally I can kind of just pick whatever books that I want to put in this reading vlog and not have a theme for it, because in like September and October I was doing spooky books, and then the last two vlogs I've done have been like me reading series, but it was finally time to not have a theme and just read whatever. But I inadvertently chose a theme with the books that I'm gonna be reading, so obviously I'll probably choose something aside from these two because I might finish these, but right now we're reading vampire books this week, so I'm not mad about it, but I do think it's kind of funny. So first of all, I'm so excited, but I'm so sad about this one. I'm going to be finishing The Last Sacrifice by Rochelle Mead. This is the 6th book in the Vampire Academy series, and I am almost to the end. I'm on page 485 out of like 600 almost, and I am going, like, I'm gonna be so sad when this series is done. Only 125 pages left, but it's fine. I won't talk about it anymore, but I am really excited to see how this book ends. Like, I know things because I gave myself more accidental spoilers, but I'm not, like, I don't even care about like the actual plot of this book anymore. I just want to see good development in the romance, so I'm really excited about that. And then the other book that I'm gonna read that's also vampire-ish is something I am so excited about, let me tell you. And that is going to be me rereading Twilight by Stephenie Meyer, obviously. So I've been wanting to reread this book for like the last few months, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wait for November because I feel like November is like peak Twilight vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cold, it's kind of dreary, depressing, whatever. Perfect vibes to read this book. So I'm actually kind of shocked that I am going to be picking this up in November because I feel like every time I save a book for a specific month, I never actually read it in that month, but for once, I'm gonna do it. I'm so excited about this one. I'm going to be annotating it too, which I think is kind of fun, so it's gonna be a good time. Also, I do want to put it out there, and I do want to say that, like, obviously Twilight is incredibly problematic. There's a lot of toxic elements in the relationship and just toxic elements to Stephenie Meyer as an author. But I first read this series in like elementary and middle school, and I just loved it so much, and now it is just a part of me that I can't let go of. Also, I do think I have Twilight to blame for like my current reading preferences, which are like fantasy romance, because that's like kind of what Twilight is, and books about vampires in general. So I think it can all be traced back to this masterpiece. Also, I do have these amazing alternative dust jackets for the series. Did I need to buy these? Absolutely not, but obviously this is incredibly cool. Like, come on now. And bringing that up actually does segue me into what my plans for today are. So obviously I have dust jackets for the other 3 books in the series, but I do not currently own any of those books. So I need to go check out some thrift stores so I can find some hardcover versions of New Moon, Eclipse, and Breaking Dawn so I can put them on, and then I can show you what the other ones look like because they're so good. And I'm so excited to see the stack together. So I'm also going to be going to Half Price this morning because I do have some books that I want to unhaul, just because I've been buying way too many books recently. So when I got back home, I was like, all right, you need to take a look at things and unhaul some books because it's getting out of hand. So that happens, so I'm going to take them to Half Price. I am going to have a little look around, but the goal is to not buy anything. Will that happen? I don't know. Like, if they have a copy of The Last Sacrifice, obviously I need it because this is a library copy and I want my own. But aside from that, putting it out there, I'm not buying anything. So we'll see how that goes. So those are kind of my plans for the morning. And then when I get back, I'm going to do a little bit of bookshelf reorganization because I'm just not happy with how things are looking. It's a mess. I have books everywhere. What's new? So I'm going to be doing that later. So yes, here are the reading plans for this week and whatever else I happen to pick up at any other point in time. So yes, it's currently 10:08. I'm gonna head to Half Price and I will talk to you guys later. Okay, so I'm back from the couple of things that I was gonna do. I did sell my books at half price, and I did manage to walk out without buying yet another book, so go me. However, I did go to like 2 different thrift stores, and neither of them had any copies of Twilight. But I was like, guys, what's going on? Twilight is literally a thrift store staple. How do you not have any copies of it? It was weird. At any rate, over the course of the week, I would just like pop into random thrift stores around the city, town, whatever, and hopefully find some for my dust jackets. So unfortunately, I can't do anything with the rest of the dust jackets today. However, it's fine. I'll do it at some point in time in this vlog. It'll all be good. So now I'm going to do some bookshelf whatever I'm gonna do to it. I have no idea. I have 0 plans for what I'm gonna do with my shelves. They're just like not cute, you know? And like 1/4 of my books I would probably say are at school, so that also doesn't help that I don't have enough books to like fully fill up all of the shelves in the way that I would want them to. But hopefully I will make it work with what I have. I'll give you a mini bookshelf tour, and then I will get into finishing The Last Sacrifice. So just gonna keep putting it off for as long as I can, honestly, because I really don't want it to end, but it's fine. So let's get into some bookshelf reorganizing. Okay, so I am finished kind of rearranging some of my shelves. For the most part, a lot of them do look the same, but I kind of switched up like these and then this one over here. So I have like YA fantasy. I don't love this shelf, but I also don't have a lot of my YA fantasy at home right now, so this is kind of the selection. Then I just decided to put all my Leigh Bardugo books and all my Sarah J Maas books on this shelf, and they fill it up so nicely. It's very satisfying. Then I have like random rainbow shelf because I don't know what to do with all these books, so that's just how it's looking now. And then I put my Stephen King books back down there. I moved them around, but like I like them on the bottom shelf. But then my favorite shelf is this one. Okay, I don't love like this, but I don't know what to put there, but I do love the concept of the shelf because it's just like romance books with good romance. There's like fantasy romance, dystopian romance, vampire romance, general romance, all the romance. I don't know, I just think it's so cute, and for once I'm glad that the paperbacks of ACOTAR are like these really obnoxious colors because I like the way that they look in the gradient. So love this new shelf, very cute. So I've made quite a bit of progress in The Last Sacrifice. I literally have 20 pages left, and I'm so sad. But I have really enjoyed these last 100 pages that I've read. There was this murder mystery almost kind of aspect to it, and we figured out who the culprit was, and I was shocked, honestly. Like, maybe if I would have given it a little bit of critical thinking, I probably could have figured it out, but I was not expecting that. Very juicy. The motives, I just like, it's so interesting. We've also had quite a bit of development in the romance over these last 100 pages, and I'm so happy with how things are turning out. So I've just been having, can I say it again, such a good time reading this series. So I'm gonna go quickly read the last 20 pages of this book and cry a little bit. So I'll talk to you in a few. Okay, so I just finished The Last Sacrifice, and now I don't know what I'm gonna do with my time anymore. but it's fine. No, but seriously, I did really enjoy this book. I thought it was really fun. Obviously, I'm gonna give this book a 5 out of 5 stars. Like, there's no reason not to, you know what I'm saying? I really enjoyed the romance for the most part in this book, but there's this like kind of thing that happens towards the end, which I just like, I hated it. Like, why couldn't this have happened like a little bit later? I just feel so bad for this one character, but like, I shall say nothing more on the matter because I still really do like the romance in this book, but I don't like how that part of it was handled. But aside from that, I was still obsessed, you know what I'm saying? I'm so glad I read this series, but I'm so sad that it's over. So anyway, there's that. I don't think I'm gonna read anything else today. I think I'm just gonna chill. Probably start Twilight tomorrow, maybe. I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, so it is quite a bit later. I also have this like red mark on my forehead. I don't know why. I think I probably just leaned on it for a little bit, but I can't stop looking at it. At any rate, it's fine. So it's like 8 o'clock now. I've done a lot of nothing, but I have actually decided that I do want to start Twilight tonight, which I'm so excited about. I don't think I'm gonna read like too much of it, but I do want to get a start on it just because I'm so excited about this reread and I need to hop into it ASAP. I do first of all need to set up my annotation key. I do have some tabs. I don't know what I'm gonna use. Cass sent me these a while ago, so I might use like these colors, or I might just pick out a fun little, oh, I could use these. I don't know, I have so many different things going on here, but I also want to pick like a fun color palette that matches like the pinks and purpley colors that are going on here. So I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. However, before I jump into my reread, I am going to update my journal a bit. I just need to fill in some pages, obviously. So I think what I'm gonna do is put on the Twilight soundtrack to get myself in the headspace. I don't think I'm going to actually listen to the soundtrack while I read, just because I don't think I'm talented enough to do that. Like, I will get immensely distracted if I attempt to listen to like music with words while I try and read. Like, that's not happening. But I'm gonna do it while I update my journal a little bit because I do want to listen to Eyes on Fire. Like, that's the best one. And I just feel like I need to set the vibe because Twilight has such a strong vibe, you know? So oh, I'm so excited to hop into my read of it. So I'm gonna do that right now. And yeah, I probably won't talk to you guys anymore tonight, but I will update you guys tomorrow with whatever progress I made and what my thoughts are on my reread thus far. So yeah, those are my plans for tonight. It's gonna be such a good time. I can already tell. Okay, so I've read a single chapter of Twilight. I'm literally on chapter 2 and I'm already having the best time. I'm just annotating like the hell out of this thing already. I got to the scene in the cafeteria where I think Jessica is telling Bella like all of the Cullen backstory, and I put on Eyes on Fire. I'm not even sure if that's the song that they play in the movie at that time, but it really set the mood And it was just like, it was so good. Honestly, that's all I got so far. I'm literally only like 24 pages in, but oh my god, she talks about the weather so much in Forks. It's just insane. I started a whole new tab for the times that she mentions the rain, because first of all, the rain is my favorite weather. So she's like, oh my god, this is just like terrible, I can't believe it. But I'm like, shut up. I wish I lived in the wettest place in the continental US. Are you kidding me? That would be everything. But I thought I could show you my little annotation key because I think it's fun. I have this little tab of this cat with a phone, and I never use these tabs, but I thought the fact that it was like on the phone was kind of funny, so I made it the I'm calling the police, aka all of my red flag tabs, because I know there are gonna be so many red flags in this book and I'm excited to point them out. So I also have one for just like general vampire info. Like, yeah, I already know all the vampire info, but it's just interesting to see like what hers specifically is as opposed to like another author. Then I also have my romance question mark tab, which is literally just gonna be like Edward and Bella moments, which I do kind of like them together, honestly. I'm like, 10-year-old me was obsessed, so obviously I will continue to be obsessed because why not? But like, I wouldn't call it good romance, which is why there's a question mark on it. I also have a tab for just me talking about the movie, which I feel like is going to be what all of my tabs pertain to, which I think is kind of funny. And then I also have like a general thoughts tab because I do like to have one of those in every book that I tab, just so I can like, it's like a catch-all. Like if I don't know what to put something under, I'll put it under that one. I also have a tab for every time Edward chuckles, because I saw, I think it was Kitty from Spicy Cats Reads, whose channel I've been watching a ton recently. I really love her channel so much, you should check it out. But I was watching the video where she was annotating Twilight, and she made a tab for every time he chuckled, and I was like, that is a great idea, because I think it was like a TikTok that I saw a few years ago about just like the sheer number of times that Stephanie Meyer uses the phrase "he chuckled" in this book, and I just want to see just how many there are, so I want to be on the lookout for those. And yeah, that's my annotation system. There's a lot of them, honestly, but I just want to annotate the absolute hell out of this thing. However, I actually have a little project that I'm gonna work on tonight, little arts and crafts moment. Actually, I really hope I have the materials I need for this. I guess we'll find out. So as you can see, the edges of this book are like this dark reddish maroon color. I did this myself like the beginning of last year. I think I have a vlog in which I did it actually, and like honestly, it's not the worst thing ever, but I don't like how it looks with my tab colors. But I like my tab colors because I think they correlate to like the dust jacket pretty well. So I think I'm going to try and paint the edges black just as like a good neutral. I have no idea if this is going to work, if it's going to look good. I've never tried to paint over sprayed edges before, and this is already kind of rough, so like I have no idea. It's been a while since I've done this, so we'll just have to see how it goes. But I hope you guys are excited for an impromptu craft moment on the channel, so let's give it a try. I would not call this the easiest way to paint some edges, so I'm just gonna hold them together and hope for the best, you know what I'm saying? Seems like a bad idea, but I'm just gonna like, whatever. I've already done the long edge and it looks okay. However, it could look just like absolutely atrocious when I like unstick all the pages, but maybe I should have, I literally, there's so much dust on this book. I should have dusted this thing. Now I'm literally just gonna hold this here until it dries. Oh, no, I missed a spot, never mind. I don't know if this is gonna look good or not, honestly. At any rate, it dries really quickly, so we're gonna find out if this worked or not very soon. Also, I don't know if, like, I'm sure you guys can kind of just like see what I'm doing, but basically all you have to do to like paint the edges of your book, just like get some acrylic paint, hold the pages like really tightly closed and paint them, and then you're gonna unstick them obviously when it dries, and it could go really badly, it could turn out not badly. I don't think I've managed to do it yet where it actually turns out very well, but there is a first time for everything, my friends. Guys, I can't lie, I actually think it worked, and it really like doesn't look that bad. Like, it doesn't look perfect, but it's not terrible, and it's not like patchy or anything, and it just looks so much better than like the maroon. But I just think my tabs are gonna look so much better with the black, and I also really like the black sprayed edges with this like black and pink dust jacket. So I had like zero hopes that this would actually work, to be honest, just because I've never like successfully painted the edges of a book, but like this one, like I'm kind of obsessed, honestly. Like I'm honestly contemplating painting all of the edges of the Twilight books just because I think they look so cool. Like, I just love black sprayed edges so much. It's like one of my favorite aspects of like some special edition books. Like, I just think it looks so cool. So the fact that I was able to like do it myself and it doesn't look completely like trash, unbelievable. I'm so excited. Would highly recommend you try this. Just be careful. So I'm gonna go back through and reposition my tabs so they are sticking out of the pages again, and then I'm gonna read some more and hopefully love it. So yeah, I'm just so happy this worked out. So let's go read some more. Okay, everybody, it is Sunday morning and I have my update on Twilight for you guys. So I'm on page 110. I was not planning on reading that much of this book last night, but once I started, I couldn't stop. It just sucked me in, and honestly, I'm having such a good time rereading this book. Like, I can't even lie. It is just so fun. Although, definitely noticing a lot of things. Mainly that Bella's only personality trait in this book right now is that she hates the rain. And I'm like, we get it. We know that it rains in Forks, girl. Like, you don't have to mention it like a billion times. Like, I have blue tabs in here for all the times that the rain is mentioned. It's like my most used tab at this point in time, and like I just think it's so funny because like I know we have to establish the fact that it's like raining constantly, but I feel like you could say it 1 or 2 or maybe 3 times and we would get it. But it's seriously mentioned on every other page, and like I'm not even like that mad about it, to be honest. Like, it's more funny than anything, but I just like I never noticed that before. But also I'm like, is this why I love the rain so much? Like, did Twilight subliminally message me into loving precipitation? I just don't get it. Aside from that, I feel like, you know, not much has happened. Her and Edward are gonna be friends because he just can't stay away from her, and like, bleh, whatever. I don't think I'm gonna have a ton of time to do some reading like during the day today, but I'm definitely going to get into this tonight, and I'm so excited to read some more. So I will talk to you guys later. And yeah. Alright, hello guys, it is Monday afternoon. It's been a day. Let me tell you, it's been a day, because I was planning on starting my reading early. I was gonna make a ton of progress, but then I went to plug my hard drive into my computer earlier today so I could just like move a video onto it so I could delete it off of my computer. And it started clicking. Like, the hard drive, it started clicking. It doesn't normally do that, so I googled it, and apparently it has been dubbed the click of death. So it's been a morning. That's just terrible. I really, like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get the information back off of my hard drive again, so it's fine. Like, everything's fine. So I really was not in the mood to read this morning, so I just watched Cass's new vlog. I've been working on some thumbnails for my videos and just like chilling, you know? but now I have deemed it time to read. So I did make a decent amount of bookings progress. There we go. I did make a decent amount of progress in this book yesterday. I am now to page 236, which is like halfway through the book. Here's how the annotations are looking so far. I love them so much. Like, obviously this will end up being like one of my most annotated books, but it is so satisfying. Like, oh my god. I think the last scene I read was when Edward finally tells Bella that he's a vampire. And let me tell you, they did that scene so much better in the movie. Because in the movie, you know, it's like super tense. They leave school, they walk into a forest, he's standing behind her all like weird and menacing, and she's like, I know what you are. But in the book, they're just like in his car, and I'm like, where's the ambiance? Where's the vibe? You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't there. I am glad that obviously that's now out in the open, and we can start getting to the fun vampire times, you know? So yeah, unfortunately, I think the plot's gonna start kicking in pretty soon, which is where this book really goes downhill. But I have been enjoying the first half of it so much. I think today I might go out on another search to find some more of the Twilight books, because I want to put the dust jackets on all of them so badly, but I don't have them. So I might scour some thrift stores around me. So now it's time to get into it, keep annotating. I also bought some more tabs this morning because I'm running out of tabs, because I'm literally using like every single tab I own in this book right now, but it's so satisfying and I love it. And I found these at Walmart for like $1, and I was like, that's kind of a deal, because the pack of them that I usually buy is like 7. Yeah, that's all I got for you right now. I'm going to go read some more now, and I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, hello guys, it is quite a bit later and I have very exciting news, because I have finally acquired the copies of Twilight that I was needing for my dust jackets, which I'm so excited about. I've literally gone to 7 different thrift stores looking for these, and like 5 out of those 7 thrift stores had nothing. None of them. It was very disappointing, but I decided to go to some tonight, and I did find the ones that I was looking for, and I'm so excited about it. I also, shockingly enough, found some other books from the thrift store that I kind of wanted to pick up. So first we have this Penguin English Library edition of A Tale of Two Cities. Here we go. And I just like little mass market paperbacks of classics. Like, I think they're so cute. But I do have one that I'm even more excited about because it is so tiny and cute, and it is like my new favorite thing ever. And it's this edition of Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. And I just like this cover art. Stunning. I love it so much, and it's so small. Like, oh my god, it's adorable, honestly. So yeah, this is one of the campus classics, and I think they were printed in like the 60s maybe. Plans for the rest of the night. What time is it? I think it's like 8 maybe. I have no idea where my phone is at the moment, but I have decided that I want to paint all of the edges of the Twilight books black, just because I think this one turned out really good, and I really like how it looks with like the alternative dust jacket on it. So I'm just really going to hope and pray that I don't ruin these books that took me so long to find. But I'm going to put on, oh, hang on, do you know what would be perfect? If I put on the Twilight movie. So that'll be really fun. It's just gonna be chill, and then obviously I'll put the dust jackets on it tonight, and I cannot wait to see how they all look together. So then once I do that, I will probably get back into reading Twilight. I think I've read like a chapter maybe, but honestly it was a good chapter, because it was the chapter where they're in like the meadow, and he finally showed her that he's super sparkly. And it was just a good time. Much later now, and I've finally finished painting the edges of all 4 of these books, and it took me so long. Like, I've literally been doing this for like 4 hours. I watched the entirety of Twilight, and then I watched like a bunch of YouTube videos and stuff, and honestly it was just kind of nice. Like, painting, it's kind of therapeutic, especially because I wasn't being like super careful with these or anything. I was like, I'm just gonna slap some black paint on it and hope that from a distance it looks good. And I feel like from a distance they do look good. So also, let me just like show you the book covers like on their own, because they're so good. I've literally already talked about these in like one of my recent videos where I did an unboxing, but I'm still obsessed and I want to talk about them. So we have Breaking Dawn. I love this picture of them with them in the back. Oh, it's so good. With this, I love the color of this spine too. It's like the green. We have Eclipse, obviously. Edward looking absolutely demented. Then we have New Moon. The worst book in the series, in my opinion, but I do love the colors on this dust jacket. Like, I think they're really cool, and they work really well with the purple spine. So, is the paint job on them great? No, because when you like go to pull the pages apart, they get like kind of fluffy sometimes, and I also ripped like quite a few pages, but we simply won't talk about that because I like went over it with a sponge and I just like covered the fluffy parts. So like, it's very textured looking, but you can't really see because it's black, obviously. So yeah, it's such a good use of my time, of my efforts, of my money. Like, yes. I realized this is literally just turning into a Twilight vlog at this point. Like, I was really planning on doing like a casual reading vlog, but it has just been me talking about Twilight. So I'm gonna go take a shower and I'm going to read Twilight with Fritz because she's hanging over on my bed. Say hi, Fritz. Oh, she looks so cute. Oh, you can also see the post-it tab that I stuck to the wall because I didn't want it anymore. Anyway, this is my last update for the night. I'm gonna put these books on my bookshelf. I have a nice little spot for them here-ish. I will talk to you guys tomorrow morning when I have hopefully made a bunch of progress in Twilight. So let's do it. Hello everybody, it is now Tuesday morning and I have indeed made quite a bit of progress in Twilight. I am now up to page 409. I'm in the middle of some chapter, I don't know. The plot has finally like kicked in for this book and it's just gonna go downhill from here, you know, because the first part of this book like is peak, you know, like it's the best part. But once she starts like running away from, can I say who? What's the protocol on spoilers for Twilight? Like, I would just assume it doesn't matter. But by the same token, I won't say anything. But once like an actual plot finally starts in this book, I get really bored. But I do love the first part of it so much that I'm like, I will push through it just for that. You know what I'm saying? I think my favorite part of this reread and just like actually reading the book in general is that you get so much more like background information on like Edward and his family and whatnot, which I really like hearing about that. And you also just get like more moments between the two of them. And honestly, like, I don't know exactly how to articulate this, but it kind of feels like I'm reading a Bella and Edward fanfic at some moments, even though it's just the book, because I've obviously watched the movie so many times and I feel like you don't get a lot of just like simple moments between the two of them. But like in this book, like it's really cheesy, but you do get moments of them just like alone, hanging out, him learning things about her learning things about him, and like what it's like to be a vampire. And like when they have these conversations, I just feel like I'm reading fanfic almost. And I don't exactly know if that will make sense to anybody, but it makes sense to me. And I think it's really funny. But I think I'm definitely going to be able to finish this book today, hopefully. Mainly because like I do not care about the last 100 pages of this book, so I'm like, let's just get through it, you know? But I am excited to see what this looks like when it's fully annotated, because I'm obsessed with the way this looks, honestly. I definitely wanted to try out like a more cluttered, random kind of look with this one, and I think I might have to start like annotating more books like this because I really like how it looks. It's just so like absolutely unnecessary, but I love it because like not all of the tabs match. Some of them are rounded, some of them are square. We have like some cat ears, which I ran out of the cat one, so I haven't been able to mark a bunch of red flags, even though there have been just like so many red flag scenes. Obviously every time he talks about how good she smells, I'm like, what if we didn't do that? But it's just like, it's so funny. Like honestly, I really thought this reread was just gonna be me like trashing the book the whole time, but I'm having too good of a time to like actually trash it, you know? Like I know it's not good, and like if you didn't read this series when you were younger, obviously I would not recommend picking it up. But seeing as this was like one of the main series that got me into reading, I cherish it. The fun thing with this series is that it actually got me into reading twice, technically, because I read it when I was younger, and it kind of got me into reading like more young adult books with like fun little romances in them when I was like 10 up through like 13 or whatever. But then I stopped reading for a long time. But then a few years ago I was like, maybe I should start reading again, and this is one of the first series that I picked up when I wanted to get back into reading, obviously this second time, and it also got me back into reading some fun young adult books with romances in them. And I just like, yeah, obviously I'm gonna give this book a 5 stars once I finish it. However, I think my current rating for it on Goodreads is like a 2-star. But I'm not gonna change that because like Stephanie Meyer doesn't deserve my 5-star rating. But up here I will know that it's a 5-star. Yeah, I'm going to go to lunch, but then when I get back I'm gonna finish this book, and then I think I'm going to start reading something else. I'm not 100% sure. There is a chance that I might pick up another vampire book, just to like I was not planning on making this a vampire vlog, but honestly that's kind of the mood that I'm in right now. I placed a hold for King of Battle and Blood, I think that's what it's called, by Scarlett St. Clair, which is like a very steamy vampire fantasy romance situation, and it sounds really fun. I read, I think the first 2 books in the Touch of Darkness series by her earlier this year, and like they were so bad, but at the same time like they were kind of fun. So I'm like, maybe I should check this one out as well because vampires. So I might do that, just really hoping that I get my hold soon, but I could start reading it like on my iPad or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out later once I finish this book. So I will talk to you guys later with some sort of update at some point in time. Now 5:30 and I just finished my reread of Twilight. Like I said, it's a 5-star up here, but honestly there's so many issues with the book, which obviously I would like to acknowledge. I do not think this book is great. The writing is subpar. The relationship is incredibly toxic. There are so many moments between them where I'm like, I don't like the dynamic. It's just like, it's kind of weird, but I cannot lie. I had a really good time rereading this book, and I am honestly thinking about doing like a casual reread of the entire series now, because I'm like, I'm kind of sad it's over, you know? So what if I put myself through the trauma? Oh, Fritz wants to leave. Hang on. Okay, I'm back. But I just think it would be really fun to reread the entire series and annotate them in this same way as well, just because I really have enjoyed writing down all of my thoughts throughout this book. Like, it is just, like, it's so fun. So I think I might start New Moon at some point. Not in this vlog, but like in the next few weeks, I am contemplating reading New Moon. And like, I know I've talked a lot of trash about it, but I think it would be really fun to go through and annotate it and just like heckle Jacob at every single opportunity I can. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that would be a really good time. Also, I have been tabbing, like I said earlier, every time he chuckles, and it is just insane, honestly. Like, I have at least 15 orange tabs, and that is like 12 chuckles too many. Somebody needed to get Stephanie Meyer a thesaurus, apparently, but it was still really fun. So yeah, there's that. I'm really sad it's over, I'm not gonna lie, but it's fine. Hello everybody, it is Thursday morning. I did not end up vlogging anything yesterday just because I didn't really, okay, well that's a lie. I did read quite a bit of the book that I'm about to talk about, but I just didn't want to, I don't want to vlog yesterday. I don't know, but it's fine. So the book that I started yesterday was King of Battle and Blood by Scarlett St. Clair. I'm up to page like 242. And this book reads literally so quickly, so I really couldn't stop reading. It is definitely a very fun time. Honestly, like, the plot is non-existent. Like, not a lot has really gone on. However, I kind of knew that going into this book, and the only thing I was really looking to get out of it was the fun, sexy vampire times. You know what I'm saying? And like, that's definitely what you get because you're following our main character, Isolde, who is a human. She was the princess of a court, living her life, whatever, until one day the vampire king comes to her court. And I don't remember why they're like making this deal. I've already forgotten, to be honest. But he's like, I want her as my wife. And she hates him because he's a vampire, and she's been brought up to believe that like all vampires are just evil, nasty creatures. But I feel like pretty soon she's just going to learn that that is an internalized prejudice that she has, and not all vampires are like the worst creatures in existence. And I'm excited for that. It's got like all the good tropes, you know? Like, it's got a forced marriage. It's got immortal enemies to lovers. Like, honestly, yeah, that's all I wanted. That's all I needed. It's not great, but I have read other books by Scarlett St. Clair before, so I kind of knew what to expect going into it. And I'm getting exactly what I expected. So I'm having a good time with it because it's like fantasy romance, which I already freaking love. But then introduce some vampires, and like, I'm sold. So yeah, there's my update on this book for now. I'm really excited that it decided, oh, Winnie. She is sitting right behind the camera and decided to start cleaning herself. I'm really glad that I decided to just make this a little vampire vlog because it has been interesting to read all of these back to back and really be able to see the differences in the vampire lore that these few authors are using. I think my favorite like magic system kind of for the vampires is definitely the one used in Vampire Academy, just because I really like the different types of vampires and like vampire classes that are used in this book. However, I can kind of see a little bit of that happening in this book as well, because the normal vampires are normal, I guess. But apparently, like, in this world, once a vampire gets its head cut off, it can like reanimate, and then it's like a super evil vampire, which I find interesting. There's also like two different types of vampires in this one. Like, you have like the normal vampires and then the evil vampires. Like I said, it's Thursday morning. My goal for today is to end the vlog like this. Well, that's not a goal, that just will happen because I need to post this vlog tomorrow. So this is the last day of the vlog. And my goal for today is to finish King of Battle and Blood. I'm about 2/3 of the way through this book, and like I said earlier, it is a very fast read, so I don't think that's gonna be very complicated at all. I am interested to see how this book ends just because there's not much of a plot, so I'm like, what could possibly like happen at the end of this book? So I am excited to finish it up and give you guys my final thoughts on it. So yeah, I will talk to you guys later when I have said final thoughts, and I'll give you my wrap up on the vlog overall. So I'll see you in a bit. Twilight, so it is quite a bit later, and I have finished King of Battle and Blood by Scarlett St. Clair. I think I'm gonna give this book a 3.5 stars, maybe. Honestly, I was very ready to give it a 4 stars. As I was getting towards the end, I was kind of, you know, reflecting on my reading experience. I was like, you know what? I've had a really fun time reading this book. I might have to give it a 4 stars. But there was this trope that was used a little bit towards the end of the book, and I saw it coming too. Like, there were a few instances earlier, I was like, I hope this is not what they're about to do. But it was, and like, I don't know what it is about this trope, but I do not like it. The same kind of trope happened in a book that I read a few months ago, and I did not like that one either. So I was like, what if we didn't do that? But I did like the ending of this book. It was very tense, a lot of big things happened, but because of that trope, I'm not giving it a 4 stars. But I will give it a 3.5 because the rest of it I really enjoyed. I thought it was a lot of fun. Personally, I like this series a lot more than I liked A Touch of Darkness. I just enjoyed the relationship more, probably because I didn't absolutely hate our main character. I just think Persephone in the A Touch of Darkness series is so stupid for like absolutely no reason. But I really do like Isolde as our main character. I think hi Winnie. I think she's a badass. She's definitely quick to anger and she jumps to some conclusions, but I do think that is a product of the situation that she's in, so makes sense. But other than that, she's a badass. She was cutting people's heads off. I was like, okay, get it. Honestly, this book is kind of brutal. Like, her and Adrian are both just like very quick to anger, very quick to cut people's heads off. I was like, damn. And I'm very excited to pick up the next one, which I don't remember what it's called. I know it comes out on the 20th of December though, because I googled it yesterday. So I'm really excited to pick that one up and see where things go for these characters, and I'm excited about it. So yeah, I suppose this is the end of the vlog, and I'm going to quickly wrap up what I've read. So I read 3 really fun, show-stopping, amazing, never been done before, iconic vampire books this week, and honestly I just had such a good time. I gave out 2 5 stars and a 3.5 star, so overall the ratings were pretty good, and I think this really does just confirm that vampire books are the best books. I feel like every time I pick up a book or I watch something that has like vampires as the main plot point, I guess, I just have the best time. So obviously I had the best time with these. Let's quickly go through it. Obviously, I spent most of this vlog talking about Twilight, as I should. I think I'm definitely going to be starting a casual reread of this series, and I'm kind of excited to jump into New Moon, which is shocking, I know, but I had such a fun time rereading this book, and I just think rereading the series will also be just a really good time. Like, I do think the first one will obviously remain my favorite, but I am excited to jump back into the books because obviously you just get so much more information than you do in the movies, so I'm so excited that I picked up this series again, and I just feel like it's the perfect time to read it. So I'm like yeah, so excited. Then I also finished, what is this book called? Last Sacrifice by Rochelle Mead, which, like I said, I gave it 5 stars. I am for sure going to read Bloodlines. Literally so many of you guys have told me that I need to read Bloodlines, that you like it more than Vampire Academy, and every time I see a comment, I'm like, yes, I'm going to. Don't you worry, I'm so excited about it to see what it's like. I do know who the main 2 characters are, and one of them I really like, and the other one I don't know super well, but I am excited to see how things develop, what the plot of the series is gonna be, and hopefully I just had the best time. I don't know when I'm gonna pick up Bloodlines, but hopefully very soon. I do have it checked out from the library, so hopefully soon. And then I just talked about this one, giving it a 3.5. So lots of good reading has been done so far this week, even though I did not intend for this to be a vampire video. I think it needed to happen. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please do let me know down below if you like vampire media as much as I do. Let me know if you have any favorites that I should check out. And if you don't like vampire media, why not? No, I'm kidding. But if you're not a big fan of vampires, do just let me know what you guys are reading, what you guys are doing. How is your week going so far? I would love to know. I'm all ears. So yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Where's Winnie so I can get her in on the goodbye? So we will see you in my next video. Oh, bye.